What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and today we're here with the first episode of our Discord Q&A. If you don't know what that is, check the link in the description. There will be a link to my Discord server every 2 weeks or so, give or take on how long it takes me to edit, and give or take how long it takes for like a substantial amount of questions. I will be doing a Q&A based off that. Rules are limit 3 questions per person, and keep them tasteful. Keep them tasteful. Nothing like... if I have to explain what tasteful is, like if you have to ask, is my question tasteful? It's not. Also, follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description. If you guys are excited for this, be sure to leave a like on the video. This is my way of kind of interacting with you guys. We're going to go on and hop right into it. You guys will see the question on the screen. Do a little editing so you see the question down there right underneath my hand. And I just didn't want to sit at my computer anymore. Migraines are a thing, so I was starting to get a migraine. And I have this fancy camera, so I decided to use that. So, question 1. How happy has your progress on YouTube and Twitch made you? Good question, very valid question. In the grand scheme of things, I'm very happy with the progress we've made on YouTube. Twitch, I want to stream more, but I don't know, I've got this like notion in my mind that it needs to be at certain times, and it has to be like a set thing, because I used to just stream whenever I felt like it, and people would show up. And that might be what I start doing again, I don't know. We're going to see how that goes. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, I'm very happy. Recently, things have been pretty stagnant. Pokemon's pretty stale right now, waiting on Sun and Moon. But I know a lot of people who have been doing this a lot longer than I have and are not as accomplished as I am. And I'm very grateful for the help that I've gotten along the way. So overall, very, very happy with the progress I've made on YouTube and Twitch soon to come. Question 2. Very deep, but what's the one thing you regret the most? I don't have a lot of regrets. I feel like if you live with regret, that regret will hinder choices later down in life. I regret not talking to my parents more seriously about wanting to do content creation sooner, because it wasn't until after I moved out on my own and decided that this is what I wanted to do that I had a serious heart-to-heart with them, and I talked with them and I explained to them that, you know, this is what I want to do. I really enjoy this. I've got a ton of people who support me. I'm not bad at it. Don't think I'm good by any means. I think I'm okay, but I'm not bad at it. And they had told me that pretty much if I had approached them about this when I was still living with them, that they would have, you know, put me up for a little bit and see how I do. Like test the waters with, you know, pushing full time and see how that works. So I don't regret moving back by any means. I don't regret living. I live with my best friend. It's completely you guys, if you guys know the channel, you guys will probably see him during this recording. But I don't regret moving in with Dan at all. He's one of my best friends. I've had some of the best times of my life moving out. But I regret not having that conversation sooner. That is one thing. Would that have changed the way that things panned out in the future? Maybe. But that would probably be the one thing I regret the most that comes to recent memory. Question 3. What if I don't want to ask a question? Then don't. What was your first favorite band you ever had, and what's your current favorite band? The first favorite band I ever remember having was Disturbed. It was in the 10th grade, I believe. That's like the big band that I was like, this is the thing. Disturbed was my all-time favorite band. I actually had a buddy of mine, Chris, show me them, and he burned me CDs, and I listened to them nonstop. It was awesome. I was a big fan of Eminem back in the day, but Eminem's not a band, he's a rapper. I still like Eminem, and I still like Disturbed, but Disturbed was like the big thing where I was sold on it, man. I was sold on it. I went through a pretty heavy Lady Gaga phase, actually, as well, after high school. But my current favorite band has to be Avenged Sevenfold, hands down. I'm not gonna mess with the camera right now, but I've got a poster hanging up over there for Avenged Sevenfold. I've got Sleeping with Sirens, Blacked Out Brides, a couple more posters in my room. I've got my hallway. You guys always see the We Came as Romans flag in the background of the videos, but I've got, I made up like these little shadow boxes for the We Came as Romans CD that kind of like decorate my hallway, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, but you know, definitely right past, my first favorite band was Disturbed, my most recent favorite band is Avenged Sevenfold. Question number 5, thoughts on Mass Effect 3? I really enjoyed the Mass Effect franchise. Mass Effect 2 had to be my favorite. Mass Effect 3 was alright. I didn't like going from Mass Effect 2's customization and teams, where you had so many people you could have, and based on the relationships you had with each person and how like good they were, and like which ones you chose in the end, you know, they showed who survived and whatnot, and then based off of those actions in Mass Effect 3, you had that. I really love the whole franchise. I really I thought 3 could have been done better. I feel like I was probably one of the only people, though, who really enjoyed the multiplayer on 3, though. Number 6, will you play Overwatch with us, Dad? Yes, I will love to play Overwatch. Join the Discord, like I said at the beginning, links in the description. I play a ton of Overwatch. Please come out, please play. I love Overwatch. We play on PC all the time. It's super fun. Does the Pokemon professor lie when he says that Charizard is the best Pokemon? Yes, he does. Charizard is not a good Pokemon. Statistically proven, actually I had this conversation the other day with Cooper. We talked about how, on paper, so Season 5 of the GBA, I had Mega Charizard X. And on paper, base 100 speed, base 130 attack with Tough Claws, on paper, it should work. But it's the curse of Charizard X. Cooper had Charizard in Season 4, and it didn't really do much. I had it Season 5, it didn't really do much. We had like this talk ad nauseum. It was so, I don't know what it is, but because of my experience with Charizard X, I have to say no, Professor. Charizard is not a good Pokemon. Number 8. Are you a boy or a girl? I'm a boy. Number 9. Have I roasted someone so bad they stopped talking to you for a while? Actually, yes, I have. And this was, this is a story. This is a little bit of a story. So back when I first started out, I had, there was a squad of people that I frequently with. Zypher, he's still around. Rebel Growlithe, Beers Not Tears, whatever he's going by nowadays. Eric. Wubbit, aka Chad, he's the one who actually made the Detroit Steel Wings intro for me, if you guys remember that. And then there was another guy, Occupine. And all 4 of us, like, we always hung out together, but we kind of picked on Occupine a little bit. And the only reason I really did it is because one of the things that annoys me the most is if you give somebody advice. So say you guys came to me and asked me for an opinion or advice on something you should do, and I gave you my advice, and you didn't follow through with it, and you still have the same problems, and you still then proceed to ask me for advice on the problems which I already gave you advice for, but you didn't follow through with me. So long story short, that's why I didn't really, I started to not like it, because that's how he treated me. He kept asking me for advice, and I kept giving it to him, and he didn't follow through with it, and kept having the same problems. Whether or not my advice would have helped the problems, I don't know. But to my best knowledge, that's what would have helped, and it never did. And there was one time, there was a tweet conversation, and I roasted him for it, and he actually blocked me. He blocked the entire social group we had. I don't know if he's still around. I wish him the best. I never wish any ill will on anybody. I do wish him the best in whatever he chooses to do. He was YouTubing for quite a while. However, I roasted him, and we no longer talk. Number 10, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the strongest of the stall? I played a team the other day on the OU ladder, and it was Mega Sableye, Skarmory, Chansey, Quagsire, Tangrowth, and Talonflame, I want to say. That guy was pretty masterful of the stall, I would have to say. Number 11, if one plant is sad, do other plants photosympathize with it? Plants don't have emotions, David. Plants do not have emotions. Number 12, have you ever accidentally had sex with a bowl of ice cream? No. Nor have I purposely had sex with a bowl of ice cream. Neither of those things have happened. If you could make one thing real and exist today, fiction or not, i.e. dinosaurs, teleport, space travel, etc., anything, or vice versa, what is something you would make not exist, and what would you choose? I like teleporters. It's not like when I have to drive a car, like going to the gas station or going to work or going to the grocery store, I'm like, oh, I have to drive, it's so boring. But I recently found that if I'm in the car for, say, more than, let's call it 45 minutes, I start getting really impatient. And I found this out because back in July, I don't regret doing this. I drove down to Connecticut for A-Drive and A-Jive's wedding. And that was an 11-hour trip straight. The way there was fine. I left super early in the morning. I had lunch with my friend Kenna. Drove the rest of the way because there was a destination. I knew when I get here, I am going to have fun. It is going to be awesome. I'm going to have so many good memories with all these people. But the way back started to get to me because I left Connecticut at about 2. Maybe it was like 1. Maybe it was between 1. I'm going to say I left Connecticut around 1. Drove actually down to Long Island to visit Shady Penguin and Nips at Aeon Gaming, and I hung out there for a couple hours. I hung out there until probably 5, and then I left from Long Island, New York to Michigan at 5 p.m. and it it was okay. Like, I had music, you know, I was singing along, I was, you know, entertaining myself the best that I could, but 11 hours in the car by yourself is bad, so that is, I forget the question. I forget the root of the question. So teleporters, please, teleporters. I'm going back down to Connecticut to visit Dan in a few months here, and I really would enjoy a teleporter so I don't have to drive down 11 hours. Question 14, what's one superpower you want to have? Flight or teleportation, just to bog down the whole, I'm following up with the last thing, just so I don't have to drive a lot. 15, what's your favorite style of Pokeball? Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is very simple. It's got the black and yellow design. Dusk Balls, I think, are overdone. They're a little too emo. But either an Ultra Ball, Dive Ball. Dive Ball, that's the other one that I really like. French fries or onion rings? French fries. I only eat onion rings from Red Robin because I was spoiled and that was the first time I ever had an onion ring. Is Noivern a good Pokemon? Nah. No, it's not. It is not. Question 18. Why are the Detroit Red Wings the greatest hockey franchise ever? Statistics show the Red Wings to be the greatest hockey franchise ever, and I actually just found out tickets go on sale soon, and me and some friends are going, so I'm super excited about that. Will the second season of the CCBL be done on the channel? I don't know about the continuation of the CCBL. I might have bitten off more than I could chew trying to run. For those of you who don't know what the CCBL is, it is the Crimson City Battle League. It is a league that goes on within our server. It's a ton of fun. I love it. I love the people who are involved in it. Running a league is a lot different than playing in a league, come to find out. And it is very difficult. And I'm not sure the future of it. I'm not saying there isn't a season 2, but I'm not saying there is one. That is to be determined. What would you do if I said I love you? I love you too. When are you going to try returning to the GBA for your triumphant comeback? I actually have been campaigning for that, so if you guys want to go bug the guys in the GBA about it, go for it. Is Garchomp a good Pokemon? No. When are you finally going to Battle Tough for your channel in a non-league friendly? You know, it's weird. We have each other's phone numbers, and we got this Q&A through Discord. I don't know. I'm going to grind 5 battles back. We can do it. I'd be happy to. Why are you so bad at league format? Why does Flash Fire not work while Frozen in Gens 3 and 4? I don't know. If you don't know what we're talking about, it happened in the Scrambled Egg Lock. I had Wes the Scizor had Flash Fire for his ability, and I got Frozen, and then I got hit with a Fire-type move, I think? I'm trying to remember the exact scenario. I believe it was I got Frozen and then hit with a Fire-type move, and it damn near killed me because Scizor is Bug Steel, but I had the Flash Fire ability on it, but I guess the ice blocked the Flash Fire. I'm not really sure, but it was really crazy. It was super crazy. 26. Is Crimson CBAD the worst of the bad, or is it Dylan? Shout out for those of you who don't know, the ranks in the Discord chat, me and my friend Soaring Dylan, we're both the worst of the bad, I think is the correct title for it. Dylan, I believe that when Dylan goes away, the internet shuts down. Dylan knows how to do everything. Dylan is probably, if I have any technical questions, I'm pretty sure Dylan is the first person I go to. He is such a huge blessing to me and the rest of the Discord. He helps out so much. I'd have to say Dylan is the worst of the bad. 27 and 28. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or a dozen duck-sized horses? I think a dozen duck-sized horses, because I'm imagining a duck right now, and I'm imagining a tiny horse, and I could probably fight them. But a big duck like that, like a horse, there are horses bigger than me. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 290 pounds. I am big. And there are horses that are bigger than me, so I wouldn't want to take that on, but I could probably take on a dozen duck-sized horses. Also, why am I your favorite German? Because I don't know that many Germans. 29. If you didn't start out as a Pokemon channel, what type of channel would you have started? Technically, I would have probably gone into Call of Duty. I had a lot of friends who were into video editing and stuff like that, and a couple of my clips were used in it, like the clan itself had montages, and my clips were used a couple times, but nothing too crazy. So I would have got into that. My buddy Drew, if you guys remember the very first video I ever uploaded to this channel, I was actually on his computer. You'll see his feet in the background. He was doing a bunch of streaming. He was doing, I remember that day he recorded a Minecraft tutorial. I would have gotten into that. Eventually maybe gotten into like skit-based comedy. I do enjoy making funny videos. That's why the Is It a Good Pokemon series is one of my favorite things to do. So one of the two of that. Number 30. If a legendary was given the chance to have an Alolan form, which one and how would it change, type-wise, ability-wise, and design-wise? That's a good question, because that's not something I have an answer to. That's something I gotta think about and be creative about. I'd like to see Alolan Mewtwo. So, remember, way back in the first Pokemon movie when they had the Mewtwo, instead of that Mewtwo, like, going off in a dark cave or whatnot, like, there was another Mewtwo that people didn't know about. And that Mewtwo escaped to the jungle on the Alolan Islands, and he escaped to the jungle, and he became a grass dark type, and the design, instead of having like the round square things on his head, like they became like sleeker, like sharper, kind of like, imagine like Deoxys attack almost, but not that sharp, just kind of out there. Green with like black stripes is like camouflage. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. Wow, that's actually a really good idea. Wow. Yeah, no, I think that would probably be the answer to that. Who are some other content creators you admire and why? Within the Pokemon realm, I admire, first one that comes to mind, Pokemon Trainer Steve. I love Steve, he's one of my best friends. I think he has a lot of creative vision. I think he is one of the, I think he's one of the visionaries of Pokemon on YouTube, because a lot of people, you know, now the mold doesn't need to be broken, but they don't really break the mold. You know, your Let's Plays, your League battles, your Wi-Fi battles, your trading card openings, blah, blah, blah. He does a lot of other things that I think some people don't, like, are hidden gems, and I really do admire that about him. He's got such a passion for YouTube. You have to admire it. Another content creator I admire is my friend A-Drive, Dan. He is, I have seen him grow from 10,000 subscribers to, he's probably over 150 at this point. He streams damn near daily if he's not dying or moving houses or getting married or on a honeymoon. He uploads 2 to 3 videos a day. That man is the definition of hustle, in my opinion. I do admire the King Nappy. I think he has a lot of work ethic. He's very entertaining, very entertaining. I have never watched a video and not laughed. I'll say that much. And if you can make me laugh, then I do enjoy your content. But he does have a hustle and a work ethic that I really do admire. He's got a really great personality for it. You know, he runs 3 channels now. He does his streaming 4 nights a week, I believe it is. At least the scheduled ones are. And he's got a hell of a Torbjorn. He's got a hell of a Torbjorn, I'll give him that. But outside there are a ton of others. Those are the first ones that come to mind. And then outside of the Pokemon community, if you guys know me, well, first off, I'm wearing my Game Grumps shirt, actually. I love Dan and Aaron. I think they are really funny. I think they're a very funny pairing. If you guys know me, if you guys were to ask Chase who's your favorite YouTuber, I am a huge Markiplier fan. I am a huge, absolutely huge Markiplier fan. I have been a Markiplier fan since, like, he was at 5 or 6 million subscribers, and that man's on to like 15 or 16 million right now. It's absolutely crazy, but huge Markiplier fan. I'm a huge Jacksepticeye fan. Me and Dan both, my roommate Dan, I really enjoy Markiplier. He really enjoys Jacksepticeye, so we kind of have like a good bond there. I recently have enjoyed PewDiePie's new stuff. It's very different. It's not his typical stuff, and I really enjoy that type of comedy too. Who else do I watch outside of that? Oh, back into the Pokemon community, I actually recently got introduced to Unlisted Leaf, and it's actually kind of made me want to do TCG openings on the channel. He's a very funny guy, very funny guy. Go check him out. Check everybody. If you haven't heard of a single YouTuber that I mentioned, pause this video, go check out their channels. 32. Who did you enjoy meeting the most at PAX East? Meeting, not seeing again. So, meeting people at PAX East, the most memorable one that comes to mind was Game Boy Luke. I've been friends with Luke for over a year now, and he's always been such a really good friend to me, and I've always tried my best to help him out, and he does the same for me in return. Really funny guy. I really enjoy getting to talk with him. And I remember I saw him, and I was like messaging him, like, hey, where are you? Like, dude, let's meet up, let's meet up, let's meet up. And it was before the primetime panel that they had on Friday night. We like saw each other from across the room, and nobody has this on recording, but we still talk about it to this day. He like ran, and I like, great. I'm, like I said, big guy. He's not a big guy in comparison. So I like pick him up and like spin around. It was like a super anime moment. Other than that, who else did I enjoy meeting at PAX East? I got the chance to meet Duncan Knee Deep. Really great guy. Love to get to meet him. Hoodlum Scrafty. Callum is a huge guy. He's actually really tall. I'm actually almost as tall as Callum, and I'm 23 years old, and I was like freaking out that I was almost as tall as somebody. I got to meet Drew, I got to meet Nips, I got to meet Cody. I actually got to, I enjoyed getting to meet everybody. I really enjoyed getting to meet Nate Wants to Battle, his girlfriend Morgan, and their friend Brett. Those were three people who I've always really admired, even since before I started YouTubing. Those are the people who kind of got me into this realm of YouTube, I guess. More so Nate and Morgan and people like Shady and Nappy. I got to meet Nappy there too, that was really awesome. But it was like content creator meeting each other. Like, you're like, oh, like, I've seen your stuff, I really respect it. I really had a passion for Nate Wants to Battle stuff, his music, his gaming, all of his stuff before I was a content creator. And it, like, long story short, all of his stuff means a lot to me, and the content that he did helped me in a hard place during my time. I've talked about this before on a stream or a video or somewhere, but it was really just a distinct pleasure to get to meet him, be able to hang out with him, shake his hand, take a few pictures, stuff like that. So, I'm rambling. How did Arcanine become my mascot? Well, Arcanine is my... God, I really gotta say he's my second favorite now. I've got such a love for Suicune right now. Suicune is such a cool Pokemon. So Arcanine is the mascot, but Suicune's slowly becoming the second. For the longest time, Arcanine was my mascot, big dog Pokemon, but I really fell in love with Suicune after Pokken and the GBA, and I was like, you know, I like Suicune. I like Suicune. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I don't like Klondike bars. I'm sorry. Who is my favorite person named Eric? Eric Whitaker. He is... my friend Eric Zegras asked this, actually. And by the time you guys are seeing this, he'll actually be at my house, hopefully, if this goes up at the right time. But my favorite person named Eric, I do enjoy you, Zegras, I really do. I also enjoy Eric Whitaker. He's a choral composer, really fantastic musician. Go check him out if you're into choral arrangements, choir, stuff like that. Who is my least favorite mod, and why is it Roman? Okay, David. What game has had the most impact on you in my gaming lifetime? Short term, recently, I need to say Pokemon. Pokemon has done a lot of really good things for me, and I'm excited for where it does take me. And I'll always be grateful that I found this community and whatnot. Long-term impact, Gears of War. Gears of War is my favorite franchise of all time. I'm so excited for Gears of War 4. That had fantastic plot, fantastic character development. Everything about that series has made me appreciate every little thing in gaming so much more. So shout out to Epic Studios and Gears of War. Number 38, what is my biggest dream in life? My biggest dream in life is to be successful, and that's very... Successful is about perspective, because somebody's success could be, your success could be, you make millions and millions of dollars, and you get to travel the world and do whatever you want. That could be your success. My success is doing what I want to do on my own terms and enjoying it. It doesn't mean I'm going to live in a mansion. That doesn't mean I'm going to drive a Ferrari. That does mean that I will have a job that I enjoy, whether it be this, whether it be something else. It will be on my own terms, where every day I wake up and I don't think, oh, I have to work today. I get to wake up and, yes, I get to record another day, or I get to go do this another day, or something like that. So having a place, being able to provide for friends, not as like a life source, but you know, this weekend I've got some friends coming into town, and being able to just, they're traveling a long ways, so being able to treat them would be very nice to do as well. So that would probably be, right now, that is probably my biggest dream in life. Is Arcanine a good Pokemon? We've discussed this. Who is your inspiration to start streaming / YouTube? I kind of touched on this. I was in a really poor spot in my life. My buddy Buck, who actually just started his own channel recently, I was really excited about that. Him and my buddies Drew showed me a Shady Penguin Wi-Fi battle, and I was like, there's no way Pokemon battling has become this serious. There's no way. I was like, what do you mean? Like, this is a real thing? And sure enough, it was a real thing, and there were people who took it very seriously, and I got into that, and I got into a lot of Nate Wants to Battle, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. And I had a lot of talk with my buddy Buck and Drew, and I was like, you know, I can really do this. I can really do this. So I actually bought a capture card. I looked and saw what the standard was, and it was like, good. It was like face cam. It was multiple uploads a day. It was capture card. So before I started anything, I saved up money. I took one of my paychecks, and I pretty much ate ramen for 2 weeks, but I used a whole paycheck, and I ordered a capture card, and that came in back when capture cards only took 2 months to come in. That took 2 months to come in, and even then I was like, really? And now people are waiting like 6 months for capture cards. It's insane. But I got that. I bought a nice webcam, And ever since then, the quality's kind of increased since then. But that was what I wanted to do. So pretty much inspirations like my two friends encouraging me to do it, but also the fact that I watched the Shady Penguin Wi-Fi battle. That definitely got me hooked. They also showed me Hayden. My buddy Buck is a big fan of Hayden, and so I was able to watch him and actually being able to like interact with Hayden and like battle with him now in the GBA last season. That was super cool. That was fun. How often do I think about quitting my job and doing YouTube, Twitch full time? I don't, because I don't realistically think on a month-to-month basis Twitch and YouTube would be able to provide for my bills. I'm not even gonna say yet. I'm not even gonna say yet like it's somewhere close, because there've been a few times when I have done there've been 2 times when I've done donation streams. One was recently and one was the past year. And the past year was actually because work was super slow and I needed money and I didn't know what else to do, and my friends recommended it to me. And then recently, with my computer dying, I did a donation stream to raise enough money for a new PC. Ever so thankful. That thing is like a blessing. But it doesn't really cross my mind. Every now and then I jokingly am like, who's gonna sponsor me today, like, so I don't have to go into work. But down the road, I'd really like to think that Pokemon Sun and Moon will give me the push that I need to be able to work less at my job and work more with this, but we'll see. 42, if you could only play one game series for the rest of your life, what would it be? I get burnt out on a lot of stuff. Pokemon's been doing a really good run for me right now, but Pokemon or Gears of War, those are the 2 favorites that I have to go with, definitely. That's the only, I don't know. Those are probably my 2 favorites, so that would probably be it. 43, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 10 duck-sized horses? Definitely 10. We already asked about a dozen. Now it's 10 duck-sized horses. We're going with 10 duck-sized horses. 44, favorite alcoholic beverage? Depends on my mood, really. You can't go wrong with beer. Sam Adams Oktoberfest is in season right now, so that's definitely, my fridge is full with that. Can't go wrong with a nice Crown Royal. It's a whiskey for those of you who don't drink. I mean, it really depends on my mood. If I just want to like sit back on a normal day, I'll have a beer. But if I want to make a drink to drink, I will drink something with like whiskey or rum in it. If it's a party and people are getting crazy, you know, vodka, tequila, stuff like that. But typically on a day-to-day basis, I'd have to say beer. Beer, definitely. Am I planning on going to PAX East? Yes, I am planning on going to PAX East. I would love to actually meet up with as many people as I can there. More importantly, January 27th, I will be at PAX South in San Antonio, Texas. So keep your eye out for stuff from there. 46, do I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? No, I do not like getting rained on, but I do enjoy a good pina colada. 47, as a professional Pokemon battler, what do you think is a good Pokemon? Man, you can't go wrong with Suicune, man. I'm telling you. Voice crack. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with Suicune. You cannot. 48, can Sal touch your PC when he comes over? Yes, actually. For those of you who don't know, Saloichi and the Segris, both fantastic friends of mine and huge contributors in the Discord server, great friends of mine, moderators on the Twitch channel. They're coming up to stay with me for a few days, and I'm super excited about that. But yes, they can touch the PC when it comes over, and we're probably actually going to beat my old PC to death. It's just the case and the parts that like went bad, but we salvaged everything else that we tested and was working. We saved that, so now it's just like the old, we're going to beat it to death with a baseball bat. Keep your eyes peeled for that. 49, what is the status of my health? I still get migraines. I'm more positive about it now. Nothing I've tried personally to do outside of medication has been working, so I might start looking into medication within the next few weeks. Probably after Sal and Eric leave, I will look into going back to an appointment, trying out different medications, and see what works for me. Because I'm very motivated right now to create content, and migraines are proactive. No, they're not good for my productivity. Words, English language. Number 50. What is my favorite anime that I have seen? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Parasite, and Death Note. Those are my top 3. Full Metal Alchemist will always take the cake, depending on my mood. Parasite or Death Note change, intertwine. But those are definitely 3 animes. Oh gosh, what was that one I used to watch? Darker Than Black, fantastic anime. That used to be on Netflix for a while. I love that. 51. Favorite place to have dinner? Honestly, usually I work at a sports bar, and usually I'll just go there if I'm like really hungry. Just because I know the people there. Sometimes I get a discount. It's just food. I've recently enjoyed cooking at home. Olive Garden is always a staple. Mexican's always good. So probably like Olive Garden or Mexican if I had, like, gun to my head, had to go someplace besides my work. 52. What's been the favorite series you've done or even just watched from someone else on YouTube? What's one series you really want to do or one project you'd like to pursue in the future? I'm not going to answer this because you guys in the coming hopeful month, maybe weeks to a month, you guys will see that, because the next project I'm doing is actually in tribute to my favorite YouTube series of all time, and you guys will get to see that soon. Is Knockoff a good Pokemon? I don't know how to answer this, Peach. 54, are you going to bring free-for-alls to your channel, and if so, may I partake? I always want to, but it's always so... Free-for-alls, I've always felt like I've always been in the mindset that I would need 12 Pokemon, 6 in the battle box, 6 in the party box, and people who could sit and record for 2 hours to get that done. So, I don't know, I gotta break that mindset. Maybe just like a one-off free-for-all. I've always thought we need to do like sessions, because that's what I've been used to, but we'll see. And if they come, yes, like, you are more than welcome to join the free-for-alls. Final question, 55. Can I drink bleach like Verlis? That is it for this episode of the Discord Q&A, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, be sure to show some love for the like button, because you guys know that I appreciate every single like on the video. Make sure you guys join the Discord, ask your questions for next time. I want to remind you guys to be great and do great, and I'll talk to you all soon.